Today's story is Bunny, Puppy, and Cat's Day at the Museum. One bright and sunny morning, Benny the bunny, Daisy the puppy, and Max the cat were buzzing with excitement. Today was the day they had been looking forward to for weeks, an adventure to the local museum. The trio had heard wonderful things about the museum's exhibits, and they couldn't wait to explore and learn about history and animals from around the world. As they arrived at the grand entrance, Benny's long ears twitched with anticipation. "Look at that giant dinosaur skeleton," he exclaimed, pointing to the massive bones that towered over the main hall. Daisy's tail wagged with excitement. "And there's a whole section just for different types of animals," she barked, her eyes wide with wonder. Max, always the curious one, purred thoughtfully. "I can't wait to see everything," he said, his green eyes sparkling. "There's so much to learn and explore here." With that, the three friends trotted inside, ready for their day of discovery. The first exhibit they visited was the Hall of Dinosaurs. They marveled at the towering skeletons of the T-Rex, Triceratops, and other dinosaurs. "Can you imagine living during the time of dinosaurs?" Benny wondered aloud, his eyes wide with awe. Daisy nodded, her tail wagging. "It must have been so exciting and a little scary," she said. Max read the information plaques carefully, fascinated by the different species and how they lived a long time ago. "Dinosaurs were truly amazing creatures," he said, lost in thought. Next, they moved on to the Wonders of the Ocean exhibit. Inside, they found a large aquarium filled with colorful fish, sea turtles, and even a small shark. "Look at all the different kinds of fish," Daisy exclaimed, pressing her nose against the glass. "I wish we could swim with them." Benny giggled. "I think we'd need flippers and a snorkel for that, Daisy," he said, imagining them all swimming with the sea creatures. Max pointed to a model of a giant whale suspended from the ceiling. "Did you know whales are the largest animals on Earth?" he asked. "They're bigger than even the biggest dinosaur." As they continued their journey, they entered the Animals of the World section, filled with life-sized models of animals from different continents. There were lions and zebras from Africa, pandas from Asia, kangaroos from Australia, and so many more. "This is like traveling around the world," Benny said, hopping from one display to the next. Daisy tried to mimic the roar of a lion, but came out as a funny bark instead, making all three of them burst into laughter. They spent time at each exhibit, reading about how each animal lived and adapted to the environment. Max was particularly interested in the Arctic exhibit. "It's amazing how animals survive in such cold places," he mused. "They have special fur and feathers to keep them warm." Benny hopped up to a display about rainforest animals. "And look at these animals. They need to stay cool and hidden in the dense jungle," he said, pointing to a model of a chameleon. "They even change colors to blend in." After exploring the exhibits, they arrived at the History Hall, which showcased ancient artifacts and historical items from different cultures. They saw Egyptian mummies, Greek pottery, and medieval knight armor. "Wow, look at this armor. I wonder how heavy it is," Daisy said, trying to imagine wearing such heavy metal. Benny pointed to a replica of an ancient scroll. "And look at all these writings. People have been telling stories and sharing knowledge for thousands of years," he marveled. Max nodded in agreement. "It's like a giant book of history," he said, feeling a sense of wonder. As they wandered through the museum, they learned so much about different times, places, and creatures. They took turns taking pictures with the exhibits, capturing memories of their fun-filled day. "I'm so glad we came here," Daisy said happily. "There's so much to learn and see." Max smiled. "And it's even more fun because we're learning together," he said. Benny nodded, his nose twitching with joy. Every day is an adventure when we're with friends, he agreed. Before they knew it, the day had flown by, and it was time to leave the museum. They made their way to the gift shop, where they each picked out a small souvenir to remember their trip. Daisy chose a plush dinosaur, Benny picked out a miniature globe, and Max selected a book about the history of animals. As they walked home, the trio talked up excitedly about all the things they had learned and the new adventures they wanted to go on. We should visit more places like the museum, Benny suggested. There's so much out there to discover. Daisy and Max agreed, their hearts full of excitement for the adventures to come. There's always something new to learn, Max said wisely, and I'm glad we get to explore the world together. And so, Benny, Daisy, and Max returned home, their minds buzzing with new knowledge and their hearts filled with the joy of discovery. They knew that no matter where their adventures took them, they would always be ready to learn and explore together. That was Bunny, Puppy, and Cat's Day at the Museum. Thanks for listening to Super Bedtime Stories. We hope you enjoyed your lesson tonight. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you enjoyed this book, feel free to click on one of the videos on the screen for another good, heartwarming family fun story. We strive to provide good moral bedtime stories that parents know are safe for their little ones and also have a good lesson. See you soon.